Good morning, Knicks Nation. Today is Tuesday, 12th day of September 2023. I hope you're all safe and healthy today. I hope your family's safe and healthy and that the needs of you and your family in terms of food, shelter, clothing, as well as health are being met today. Blessings upon those that work in the healthcare field who, along with the first responders every day, out here doing the real work, saving lives. And those that pick up garbage for us, to keep our streets and sidewalks and places clean and disease-free. And those that make deliveries, the humble work, making deliveries of things like food, water, mail for our convenience. Double blessing. On the men and women out here trying to help rescue, deliver, and recover. The teenagers and children by the thousands, tens of thousands, who are victims of child molestation and pedophilia. People who are victims also of prostitution, child prostitution, pornography, child pornography, human trafficking, and sex slavery. Double curses on the perpetrators, no matter who they are. Double curses on the perpetrators, the profiteers, and the perverts who created the demand for this industry. Finally, blessings on the homeless. There are nearly 600,000 men, women, and children homeless in the United States of America. And millions around the world in similar or worse conditions. Blessings upon them, for theirs is the kingdom. I want you to listen to this tape, this clip from Giannis. I know it's going to elicit all types of knuckleheads talking about trading for Giannis, especially you guys reading Twitter and reading Bleacher Report and all this foolishness. Anyway, but this is not what this is about. This is about Fiba, and this is about the U.S. So listen to this from Giannis.
The exact same question, but I'm curious for you. Do you view this season as a failure?
Because I'm not at all. You asked me the same question last year, Eric. Okay. Do you get the promotion every year on your job? No, right? So every year you work is a failure. Yes or no? No. Every year you work towards something, towards a goal, right? Which is to get a promotion, to be able to take care of your family, to be able, provide the house for them or take care of your parents. You work towards a goal. It's not a failure. It's steps to success. And if you've never, I don't want to make it personal. So there's always steps to it. Michael Jordan played 15 years, won 6 championships. The other 9 years was a failure. That's what you're telling me. I'm answering your question. Yes or no? Okay, exactly. So why are you asking me that question? It's a wrong question. There's no failure in sports. There's good days, bad days. Some days you are able to be successful. Some days you're not. Some days it's your turn. Some days it's not your turn. And that's what sports is about. You don't always win. Some other people's gonna win. And this year somebody else gonna win. Simple as that. We're gonna come back next year, try to be better, try to build good habits, try to play better, not have 10-day stretch with play bad basketball. And hopefully we can win a championship. So 50 years from 1971 to 2021 that we didn't win a championship, it was 50 years of failures? No, it was not. It was steps to it, and we were able to win one. Hopefully we can win another one. I'm sorry that I didn't want to make it personal because you asked me the same question last year, and last year I was in the right mind space to answer the question.
Regardless of what happens with Giannis Antetokounmpo, I just want to say at the outset, this is one of the best character guys that I have seen in sports. I'm sure there's a lot of them. We don't know them all personally, but his character, his honesty, his earnestness just comes through, when he's talking. But the point was, there is no failure in sports. You see, and this is me just talking here, but I'm talking to Knicks Nation, and I'm trying to get us ready for this season or help us get ready. You'll find out why in a minute. But I believe that the term failure in sports really starts originating from people who lose money gambling on sports. You see, sports is competition, right? It's entertainment and it's high competition, especially when you're dealing with world-class athletes like you are in the NBA. But it gets even to a new level when you're talking about money being involved. and especially gambling money. So people that lose money or people, then they make the biggest hay about your failure because they didn't win. But to the athlete, Giannis pegged it perfectly. There's steps to it. And not every game you're going to win. Some people think their team, especially some people in Knicks, they think their team's supposed to go 82-0. They shouldn't have lost that game. There's games they should have won. There's always games you win and games you lose in the NBA. It's the NBA. On any given night, any team could beat any team of the 30 teams. Okay, especially now when the parity is at, to me, I haven't seen parity on this level. Man, I can't remember. The last time I saw parity on this level, man, I can't remember. Maybe it was when Boston and LA and Philly and all them was good back in the 70s, but I can't even tell you that. But now the parity, the coaching, the scouting, the looking at players. I got a little cousin, he's only 11 years old. College is already looking at him because this is how intense people and teams and scouts and agents and would-be agents are out here trying to find talent. Same thing in other sports, like in baseball, same thing, but we're talking about basketball. So the parity's at an all-time high. So on any given night, any team could beat any team. Hence, we're talking about Fiba. And I saw the title of an article, and sometimes all I need to do is see the title, and I won't read the article. It's just not even worth my time. Talking about the USA flopping at Fiba. And Giannis, like I said, I can't say it any better than him. First of all, in the NBA, okay, you build a team. An organization builds a team. It takes time. There's steps. You cannot, as much as y'all want to trade your way to a championship, there's no shortcuts. Okay, so you gotta go through the steps. Thibodeau says this all the time. You gotta go through the steps. Giannis just said it. And you're building a team that can win 4 7-game series. 7-game series. You're building a team that can be successful through the 82 games, which is a long season, and then win 7-game series so you can get a championship. Extremely difficult to do. Okay, it's extremely difficult to do. But in FIBA, it's more along the lines of NC2A ball in the sense that you just got to have one hot night and you can win. Okay, you can have a hot night and knock somebody out, or have a cold night and lose a game you might have won. And so it's not in a 7-game series. I've always believed the best team wins. Period. It could be because of injury. It could be whatever. But the best team on the floor is going to win out of 7 games. Okay? And it's extremely difficult to do. There is no failure. There's just steps you have to take. Sometimes you're good enough. Sometimes you're not. But in FIBA, like I said, guys come together. It's almost like picking street ball. You get some practice, but it's really, you can lose 1 game, 2 games, and you're done. That's it. And you could be hot or cold or whatever on a given night and win. So it's not a failure that the U.S. didn't win in FIBA. That's gambler. That's hype. That's drama trying to be created by media. But for the players, they come together, they have a good time, they're trying to work on their craft. Really, they want to win this competition. They're athletes, they're the highest level basketball athletes in the world, so they want to win, but it's really not the end of the world if they do or they don't win. Okay, it's not. It's really about pride, when you're on that level, the FIBA Olympics and all that. So, but it's not the same as the NBA. And I'm trying to get us set up now because a lot of people start criticizing. That's what they do. They criticize the Knicks. And this is the difference. Let me explain very clearly. And some of y'all still ain't going to get it, but some of y'all will. The difference between being real and being a hater. When you're real, there's always 2 sides. It's balance. There's positives and there's negatives. That's when you're real. So when you come with real, you're going to say, Well, Tom Thibodeau's a great defensive coach. The Knicks have won, but he needs to work on the offensive side of the ball. Some people feel that way. I don't, but some people feel that way. That's balance. Or if you're just a hater, you never say anything good about Tom Thibodeau. It's always negative. That's a hater. Some people feel that that's being real. No, that means you got issues deeper than just this. And you got to get some help. Or maybe you're drinking too much or something. But that's a hater. All right? And there's haters. People do that. But don't try to pawn it off as being real. It's not. It's not real. So as the Knicks are getting ready to go into training camp, this is year 4. This is the next step. They started, the first step was getting the Don as your president of basketball operations. And then letting him use his connect to build the management team. That was the first step. That included the coaching staff. Second step, you evaluate what you have on your roster and you're looking to build it. You want to build it through the draft. You want to build it through development, which is why you bring in a Walt Perrin. You brought in a Kenny Payne. You brought in a Mike Woodson. You brought in a Johnny Bryant. You want to develop what you have. That's the best way to win long-term, sustainable winning. You want to develop from within. So what they do, they came in, what they had, the pieces they had. They already had Mitchell Robinson. They already had R.J. Barrett. Okay, that's what they had. The rest of it, they started building from there. They went and they brought in the Julius Randle. They had him. They worked with him. Then they brought in, at the time, Reggie Bullock, Elfrid Payton. They drafted Obi Toppin and Emmanuel Quickley as part of the building blocks going forward. And they continue to do that going forward. So that now, in the 9-man rotation, you have Jalen Brunson signed as a free agent, Julius Randle signed as a free agent and re-signed. But then you have drafted R.J. Barrett, drafted Mitchell Robinson, drafted Quentin Grimes. Off the bench, you have Isaiah Hartenstein signed as a sweet 2-year deal as a free agent. Dante DiVincenzo signed as a free agent. You went and you got Josh Hart in a trade for a player you really didn't want if you're Tom Thibodeau. And then you drafted Emmanuel Quickley. Behind them, you drafted at 60 Jericho Sims, and you got Deuce McBride, one of the best perimeter defenders on the team, if not in the league, Deuce McBride. So you have a combination of really carefully sculpted guys that you drafted, that guys that you traded for. Oh, well, actually, yeah. In Josh Hart, you traded for him. And then you got your free agents chosen carefully and developed. This is year 4. We're looking for another step forward because now we have something the Knicks haven't had in 20 years. Continuity. All championship teams have some level of continuity. Now, the exception is LeBron. Everybody likes to point at LeBron. LeBron is the exception. He is in no way the rule. In fact, he is the exception that proves the rule. Championship teams have continuity. Continuity in the organization, continuity in the culture, continuity in the players. And for long-term sustainable winning, not just one flash in the pan because you went and got a whole bunch of minimum contracts and 2 superstars. You won long-term, you're going to build the continuity. The players that fit in your system, players that fit in your culture. Okay? Is it going to be perfect? No. And for people to expect it to be perfect, those are the haters that need help. No team is perfect. Okay? Every team has weaknesses. Here, Giannis is responding to a question about failure because the Milwaukee Bucks lost in the first round. He was hurt for a good portion of that series. His injury was the death knell of Milwaukee. Every team has that weakness. Every team. You take the Joker away from Denver, they may not even be 500, much less champions. Okay? So you want, what you want is a balance of players, and then you'd like to have superstars if you can get them, or develop them even better. The Knicks right now have Brunson, who to me is a burgeoning superstar. Definitely an all-star. Definitely got robbed last year. But he's the unquestioned leader of this team. You got Julius Randle, who 2 out of the last 3 years, all NBA, all star. That's not even a question. That's not even like, we're not speculating. That's facts. 2 years, all NBA, all star, in his prime. Okay? Then you got young players growing around them. Quentin Grimes, RJ Barrett, Mitchell Robinson, Emmanuel Quickly, that you drafted. Okay? So this is year 4. Are they going to go 82-0? No. And I don't want to hear, this is now September 12th, right? I'm telling you right now, the first 3-game losing streak, and they're going to have one, a 3-game losing streak, that people start jumping up bridges. Don't be surprised if I just totally ignore you. Because I'm telling you from right now, it happens. It's the league. Okay? They're also going to have 3-game winning streaks. That's going to happen too. It's the league. The question is, can they sustain excellence over 82 games with the ups and downs of a season and be playing peak basketball in April? That's the goal. We'll see. I'm pretty confident they can. Okay? Based on what I have seen over the last 3 years, both from the players, the development, and the management. I'm very confident that they can. But we'll see. But there is no failure. There's steps that need to be taken. And the Knicks are taking them. Enjoy your Tuesday. Shalom.